Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Justin Davis from Drone Camps RC. I'm here today with the Inductrix 200 from Horizon Hobby. We're going to do a quick unboxing and then we're going to take it to the street and do some FPV action. So stay tuned, Inductrix 200 is coming right up. So this unboxing, by the way, it's going to be called the dirty unboxing because I've already done some flying with this copter and it's a little bit dirty coming out of the box, but that's just fine because you get to see what comes with it. Okay guys, before we start doing the flight test, I just wanted to kind of let you know who the Inductrix is and sort of who it's for. It is pretty much predominantly an FPV ship. It is for beginners to intermediate guys. I've been flying for a while and I've had a ton of fun going into the agility mode on this. It's super fast for how small it is, and it's small enough that I can fly it in different spots around the park. I can fly through gaps in trees and in between fences and benches around the park, so it's pretty cool that it's that small that I can fly it in between things. Nice thing about it is that the battery does last about, probably get 5 or 6 minutes out of this stock battery that comes with it. You can pair it up with your Fat Shark goggles. It's pretty seamless. 7 channels on here. You can switch channels on top of the quad by pushing down the top front end of the quad. It will change through the various channels. You got your power button on the back. Push it in and hold it and it'll turn on. You see the different flight modes. When you're on your transmitter and you flip back and forth between the flight modes, it'll turn from different colors all the way down to red for agility mode. So starting off, I believe it's green, blue, and red. We'll show you that later in the flight test. But so far I've really had a lot of fun with this. I've gone all over town with it and I've flown at FPV just about everywhere. We did have a crash as well, which we'll show you later in the video coming up. But I'm very, very impressed with this Inductrix. If you have extra money laying around and you want to get an awesome quad to take along with you this summer to the races and just hanging out with your friends and flying these, there's a lot of cool aftermarket frames for this as well, which I will show you somewhere around the end of the video. You can upgrade this to the 9s. So there's also a battery mod out there we can talk about later as well. We might show you that in a later video. But right now, I'm super happy and super excited with this thing. I've really given it a challenge physically, and it has survived just about everything that I've done to it. So it's very cool quad. I suggest picking one up. Okay guys, here we go with the Inductrix 200. I have the DX8 powered up, and I've got the Inductrix 200 powered up here. Now, when everything is good to go, this light's gonna turn blue here. When you switch to the next mode, it's gonna turn green, and then the mode 3 is going to go red. That's going to be agility. Mode 2 is going to be stability high and stability low. There's a high rate and a low rate on the stability setting, so it's going to give you a little more angle. It'll be a little more aggressive in that second mode. And then when you flip into agility, the third mode, it's going to go red. Like I said, on the Blade Z-Rock, when we flew that one earlier, when I flipped into agility the first time, I crashed it. So be ready for that when you're out in the field. Make sure you fly this line of sight the first time. Put a little expo in the transmitter and some dual rates, and that'll help you out a lot when you first time you flip into agility. So if you're not used to flying acro, if you're a straight up beginner, fly in that first mode first. Just like every quad you get, test it out in the stability mode first, and then move down the line to the different modes so you get to agility. So be ready for agility. It's going to come quick and come fast on you, and be ready to control that because you might end up doing a flip real quick. So let's go ahead now and take off. The way we take off is we push the throttle stick to the right and then forward and then back to center, excuse me. And one thing about the Inductrix, it is a little bit noisy because it's essentially kind of like a hybrid ducted fan, but I don't know if it's a true ducted fan because it's an open air fan. It's not like your typical quad blades. But in this first mode, this is in the agility low mode, as it's called, it will not flip. So I can push it far forward as I want. It's not going to flip. It's going to maintain that degree of pitch. And it's not going to fly into the ground. So very, very subtle. If you're just starting FPV, this is an awesome mode. And by the way, guys, you can angle that camera on the front of this copter. You can angle it up. So if you're a more aggressive flyer, you can have a better field of view while you're flying in a more of a tilt. So you see a lot more aggressive flyers like Matty Stunts and some of those other dudes out there, Sharpoo, the Steve from Horizon. They're all going to have a super high degree of pitch on their camera, so get ready for that. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch into that next mode. That next mode is going to be Agility 2. So let's go ahead and flip into that now. So it's going to give me a little more angle. I can go a little faster. And you can see it's a little snappier now. So quite a bit quicker. Now if I want to switch into agility, that'll let me do flips and rolls. Most of the racer guys are flying in acro. This is kind of a simulated acro when we flip into agility. So I don't know if I'm going to crash it or not when I flip into agility. So there it goes into agility. Still has a little bit of stabilization, but as you can see, it's very, very sensitive and will flip quite easily. And I'm flying in line of sight, so keep that in mind. So it'll do forward flips, it'll do back flips, it'll do side to side, no problem. It's not going to fly upside down long, so don't try to do any kind of, whoa, there we go. So let's do another launch real quick. And this is what I'm talking about, how the fans stay on. You have to come up and turn it off. Hey, you want to watch your fingers when you walk up to this thing and turn it off. Because I did hit my finger on one of the props on accident, because I tried to grab it and pick it up, and it kind of swung around on me. So be ready for that at any time. Make sure you just don't move it much and turn the power button off. Okay, let's go ahead and do that second test. And I have a fresh battery in there so we can fly around a little more. So I'll go ahead and do a throttle, a punch out real quick for you. That's full throttle straight up. So this thing has quite a bit of power. Kind of doesn't want to come down. Takes a little while to get it down. Nice powerful motors. So like I was saying, I feel pretty comfortable flying this one in the park around other people. Like, you know, I don't want to fly it over top of crowds or anything, but when I'm out here, I don't feel like anyone's in danger flying around this thing, even though it is super fast in that agility mode. Right now I'm in stability 2. I'll go ahead and go back into agility. Now this is 100% expo here. So zero dual rates and zero expo on this, so it's super fast and super twitchy, but that's kind of the way I like this copter to fly when I'm FPVing it. It feels more like acro to me. So if you guys already fly acro, I don't know how much dual rates or expo you really want in it, because it'll roll tighter, I think, with less. And it does go super fast. The gyros seem to kind of overreact at a certain point in some really hard turns with this. Let's see if I can get it to do that real quick. It's not going to do it now. But sometimes in a tight turn, the gyros will overreact. See there, it did spin around a little bit on me. I don't know if you could see that on there. See, it did it again. However, for the most part, these gyros work extremely well, working double time to keep us level. Oh, there we go, there's a little slip. But super agile, perfect for FPVing. So let's go ahead and land this thing now, and let's take it out and do some FPVing with it. And we'll show you that battery mod a little later, but pretty awesome. By the way, if you land it in tall grass, you're gonna cut some serious grass because those fans aren't gonna stop. The blades are not gonna stop when you land in high grass, so it's gonna chop up grass. I landed in some wood chips at a playground and it ate up a bunch of wood chips. So just be careful where you're flying it because you will chew up these props quite a bit. I don't know if you can see on here, but my props are pretty chewed up, but they still fly just fine. So take some sandpaper to them, sand them back off, or you can throw that other set because another set does come in the box, which is pretty cool. So let's go ahead now, let's go out and do some FPV around town and show you some of the footage. Super fun, the Inductrix 200. Just wanted to weigh the Inductrix for you real quick and show you how much it weighs without the battery first. Right at 106 grams, so that's well under the 250 gram mark. Let's go ahead and add the battery on top, see what kind of weight we get. 180, right about 180 grams, not bad. This is well underneath the flying weight for registration or anything like that, so don't worry about it, just go ahead and fly this one. So what happened when I hit that concrete pole was this front part snapped off in between where this motor rail goes up against the frame and connects here. So what I did was I took my welder tool, put a hole through the side, and put a little zip tie up here. That'll hold it in place. Now we can get back to flying. Dudes, this place is epic. By the way, the Inductrix does not float. It sinks like a rock. Oh! Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do when you crash a quad in water, not sure if it's brackish or not, so you're gonna rinse it off with fresh water. Hey guys, I'm back in the studio now, and that was not super cool crashing in the Columbia River. The good thing is that it was fresh water. It wasn't salt water, because I've crashed in salt water before and it's like an immediate loss. Things go really bad when you crash in salt water. Things instantly corrode. The boards just get totally wrecked. So crashed in sort of a fresh water, and I rinsed it off immediately with fresh water to try to stop some of the immediate corrosion that might happen. So I've had it in a bit of rice now for about 48 hours. So I'm going to take it out of the rice and plug everything back in, put the frame back together and see if it still works. Cross your fingers. Okay guys, let's go ahead and turn it on and see if it survived the Columbia River crash. It dried out in a bag of rice for a couple days, so I'm hoping that this thing still works. Still got power. That's awesome. So let's see if it fires up. That's awesome, it still works. So now we're gonna take it back outside, put some new props on it, and give it another flight test before we end this review. Okay guys, here we go. We're gonna wrap this up. This was a great review. I wanna say special thanks out to Horizon Hobby for getting me this demo for our Drone Camps channel. It was really a lot of fun to do this. I've been looking forward to the Inductrix 200 for quite some time. I've been bugging Horizon about this, and I've got to say, I really like the way this flies. It feels fun. It feels like you can fly this anywhere. It is a little bit noisy for what it is, but you know what? It's simple, and it's also lightweight. It's under that 250 gram mark, so it really doesn't have a lot of restrictions on it. It's a really progressive kind of different design than what we've seen before, and it really does fly in agility mode very well. So whether you're an expert pilot or somebody that's brand new to this, if you're a new guy, grab one of these because you can fly it FPV in your goggles, in your Spektrum goggles, and then you can also, you know, you can fly in acro mode when you get a little better, which is, on this one, it's called agility. So if you're looking to pick something up in this price range, this is a great FPV trainer. You can bash the crap out of it like a monster truck. It is really durable. I had a few crashes with it, like the crash into the concrete pole. Probably the hardest thing that I could find to crash it into at full speed in agility mode, straight into a pole. I did a little mod on it, put a zip tie on it, and it was ready to fly again. Next crash was in the Columbia River. It survived that crash as well. I just did a flight test with it. It still works. The FPV camera and everything in there survived, which is great because I'm going to continue to fly this. And coming up next, we're going to show you some aftermarket frames, like the Rack and Heli frame and the Phoenix Flight Gear frame to put on your Inductrix 200. So this is another big winner. The Inductrix, the original one, is super awesome. It has a huge following, and I think the 200 is going to have another huge following in the FPV community. So thanks again for watching. Check out those aftermarket frames coming up next. Okay, so there's a couple frames out there already for the Inductrix 200. The first one I'm going to show you is this Rack and Heli that is available at rackandheli.com. This is a carbon aluminum combo, and this one looks pretty good to me because you can use the original canopy, and I believe they're also coming out with some custom canopies that will cover it up, kind of jazz up the look a little bit, maybe add your own favorite color. They always have about 10 different colors available. They always have a lot of stuff for color variations. Even on the aluminum parts, you can switch those out, different colors. I've seen black, yellow, gold, orange, and different colors. So it is a carbon aluminum combo. And let's take a look at the bottom of this. You can use the original battery on there. I'm concerned about this. I think it will be great for me because I do hit a lot of things, and I think it might be a little tougher than the carbon fiber surrounding protectors, but I'm not sure. If these dent, you're probably going to have to just go ahead and replace them. But you're going to have to replace carbon anyway if you break a carbon surround around one of these motors anyway. So stuff happens, it breaks. But this one looks decently durable. I think it will probably hold up to some pretty heavy punishment trying to fly through gaps and around playgrounds and things with these up and down slides and stuff. Now, this one is coming in under $100, so if you're looking for a frame, that's reasonably a good price for this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second frame in the lineup. And the second frame of choice for the Inductrix 200 is by Phoenix Flight Gear. And this one's, I believe this one's around the $100 mark. I'm not totally sure. They have a custom one on their website. You can build everything for you. And that includes all of the gear for the Inductrix, all the motors, the FPV system and everything. It's around $300. Kind of pricey, but if you want to do it yourself and get the frame from them, I believe it's available. You can check out their website, rc-drones.com there. But this frame looks pretty nice. It has carbon surrounds around the motor that's going to protect your motors and your props in a crash. However, these props do eat up a lot of stuff that come up from the bottom. Rocks, they'll hit rocks and all kinds of things when it flies next to the ground because it's got these huge blades that kick up a lot of gravel and stuff. So you're going to chew these up anyway. But as far as protecting it from hits, when you hit something with it, this should be reasonably durable. It does have the standoffs on each corner of each blade protector, prop protector there, so it might hold up pretty well. I'm probably going to go with the rack and frame. If Phoenix likes to send us or would like to send us a frame, we'll definitely give that a shot and see how this frame does. I was seeing that on their website that the 3D printed piece above the camera, that is an optional part you have to buy separately, I believe, with this frame, so it doesn't come with it. But it looks pretty good overall. I like it, and it's a great way to jazz up your Inductrix if you're looking to make it look a little more custom, maybe add a little bit of durability factor, higher durability into this quad. So been a great review, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us on the channel. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.